So many of you out there are probably wondering what would motivate someone to be a foster family, and honestly the answer is kind of simple for us. From an early age we both had the desire to help people, and we always had it in our heart that we either wanted to adopt or foster, and we see it as a very good way to give back to those kids that don't necessarily have a loving family to be in, or at least not at the moment. So it's kind of a journey that we both chose together and actually brought us together as a couple.
It kind of happened relatively fast too. We started talking about it in October, November, and then in December we saw that there was a new class starting, and so we kind of jumped on it and we were like, okay, there's one starting in January, let's go ahead and do it. And we kind of just went to see like what the first steps like were about and how to go about it. And after the first like introduction thing, we were like, okay,
we're in.
We're in. Let's go ahead and like get started. And we were certified in a month.
Less than, yeah. And if you're wondering, a lot of it is because you feel like Heartland has your back every step of the way. You don't feel as though you're going to be doing this on your own. You don't feel like there's not resources, because there absolutely are. So it makes it easy to do the right thing and to do the thing that might be in your heart. So if anyone's wondering, that's pretty much our motivation right there.
Yeah, how much kids love Pop-Tarts. I think we learned the kids really love Pop-Tarts. No, that was kind of like a joke that they tell at the foster care training, that you needed to make sure you had a lot of Pop-Tarts in your house. And we found that out relatively fast, that kids actually do love Pop-Tarts like that. And so that was kind of funny to us. But
I think I learned a lot of how to be a little more compassionate to certain things that maybe I didn't understand, things that, I've had my own things as a child. My childhood wasn't exactly perfect either, but there's certain things that if you didn't walk a mile in those shoes, you don't understand perfectly. And also maybe like the more scientific, psychological reasons behind things. So having more of like the technical aspect sometimes is good too, because you understand why certain behaviors might exist or how you can, address them in a common, loving way, because everyone needs help in that arena, because we didn't all have the same childhood. So
I would also say we kind of learned in the class how to be calm in situations where tensions are rising, and how to level our tone so that the kids also level their tone, and that helps us get through some of those tough times.
Definitely. I would say for myself, being a high school teacher, one of the things I discovered about myself in my journey teaching was that I have, I guess you could say, an uncanny ability to build rapport with people of that particular age group. It's really not hard, in my opinion. It's just a lot of it's not taking a condescending tone, being available to be like an open ear or a shoulder for them to cry on, but also not being, again, condescending or being ignorant of their culture, if you will. So I have that ability to build rapport, and I think, honestly, being that we decide to foster teenagers, that comes in handy a lot, because they feel that they can be honest and open with me, and that there won't be, or us in general, not just me, and that there won't be automatic consequences just because they were honest about a feeling or something they might have done, because it shouldn't have to be like that. I mean, open communication is probably one of the most key things in a foster and child relationship, and I think that for, on my part at least, helps a lot.
I'd say the skill that I kind of brought into it was just being fun and calm. I'm known as like the queen of calm, so
she puts up with
sometimes when those situations arise, just like being able to be calm and work through them with the kids is really helpful, because they're already going through so much, and so if you add to it by bringing your anxiety level into it, it doesn't help at all. The biggest surprise of my fostering experience was how much the teens actually wanted my attention. Because when I thought about teenagers, I was like, okay, they'll just like hang out in the room all the time, and we'll like maybe see them at dinner. And that's not the case at all. They're very out there and like, what are you doing? Where are you going now?
Can I go with you?
Yeah, can I go with you?
It's like, cool, awesome, great, we love that.
Can we play a game together? And so, do you want to go swimming? It's always like, what's the next thing that we're going to do together?
Yeah.
So I just didn't really expect for them to want to spend so much time with us, which we really enjoy because we want to spend time with them. So it was kind of cool that they actually wanted it too.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that was the coolest part too. To me, that's also the biggest surprise. It's really, I mean, you could say the food bill goes up a little bit, but that shouldn't really be a surprise, you know. But it's definitely cool that they want to hang out all the time. That's really awesome.
I'm Adriana. I'm 16 years old.
I'm Furman. I'm finna be 15.
I'm Erica and I'm about to be 14.
Okay, I'll start, I guess. One of my favorite relationships, or like my favorite relationships with them, with everybody, is being able to like come together as a family and like laugh. Like that's something that's important to me because I love to giggle and I love to like smile and everything. That's just something that brings joy to me. And I love being able to spend time with everybody. And you know, like even though we've been here for like a couple months, like I feel like I've known them my whole life. So it's like that's really something that's important because like it takes time for you to just sit down and talk to one another as a family.
Yep.
I like that we can all like sit around the table and laugh and we can play games with each other and that we're all like loving and caring. We're all like supporting each other. Like no one's like popping anyone out.
That's what I was gonna say too. Just like the fact that we like can all like play games and hang out together and just like a regular family, a bonus family. It's pretty cool.
I'll start again. I think that really what makes a good foster home is that communication is a big part. Like you have to be able to communicate with one another, and you know, not everybody's gonna just know everybody just based on their cover. Like it's not like that. Like people have gone through a lot, and it takes time for you to communicate with them and you know, speak with them and understand where they're coming from and not putting as much pressure and making it worse. Like you like just be there, support them, talk to them, make them laugh, you know, like that's really a big key.
Like trust, like because kids like they're built on trust because sometimes people can hurt them so much that they really don't like they don't know who to trust. So you like build that up with them by like communicating with them and talking to them and stuff like that.
I think just like, you know, like the kids were saying, basically being able to communicate with each other openly, us with them and then also them with us. When they're able to feel free to speak with us and on how they feel, it helps us kind of handle some situations before they become problems. And so a lot of the times we're able to kind of like talk things out and then we don't get into those areas where we're like, okay, now we need some extra help because we've like hit a burn point for everyone. So when we're able to talk about it ahead of time before it becomes a problem, it's really helpful.
That's pretty easy for me. I would say to them, it's not scary. There is a misconception out there, which, you know, they address in a lot of the meetings where even the pre-information meeting, all those, that fostering teens is somehow scary or like, you know, not desirable in some way, shape, or form because, oh, they're all full of hormones and stuff. Okay, we're all full of hormones. But the point is, it can be a little tricky sometimes. That's fair. But the other side of it is, the other side of that dual-edged blade is that it can also be way more rewarding too. Because, and our kids have said this to us, is teenagers have been through a lot more. They've seen a lot more. They might also be more aware of what's happened to them. And for that reason, you know, it can be hard to crack that shell because, you know, any of us will put on a protective shell. It's just, it's natural. But when you're able to kind of break that down and actually have like a heart-to-heart, a real communication, that replaces the joy of a million other things. And yeah, little kids are great too, that's fine, but it's unfortunate that a lot of teenagers get overlooked, and I'm just here to tell you that it is not scary. It's actually very rewarding. It just takes you a little more time, and it takes you to a little more understanding. If you can do those things, which if you're going to be fostering, you probably are very capable of, it's something you should really consider because the love's there more than you may realize. It's not like teenagers are cold and callous or all those things that you may think. honestly. It's been very rewarding for us, I can say, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world.
So I think the important thing for people to know in fostering teens is just to give them time.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to like jump right in and be like, okay, tell me about your entire life. Let them tell you.
Yeah.
In a little bit of pieces. We every day I feel like I learn something new about them and their story, and they will be open to tell you, but they have to develop that trust with you first.
Absolutely.
And so just give them the time to get to know you, maybe share some of your story, and then allow them to do it in their own timing. Because when you give them that time, they're going to be more open, they're going to share a lot more with you, and it'll be a lot helpful in trying to communicate with them.
So, like, a big thing for, like, everybody out there who's, like, trying to foster teens, or, like, what you guys should really take notes on is that teenagers have been through a lot more, because, like, they're, like, almost to the point where they're almost grown. So, I mean, it just takes time to communicate with one another and understand what they're coming from and what they've been through. And it's like, being there to support them, because a lot of teenagers don't have that support system that they need, and just be behind them and lift them up and support them, give them love, and just watch them succeed. Like, it is not really that scary. I mean, teenagers they may look scary, and everybody gets like this type of point of view from everybody else about how teenagers are, and not all teenagers are the same. So it's not, I mean, just support system is a big thing, support and love. Okay, 2 wishes that I really have in life is to succeed. That's a big thing. I want to be able to walk across the stage my graduation year and be able to say that I made it with love and support, even though there was rough times in my life where I was put down and people told me I wasn't gonna make it and I was gonna live a different lifestyle, and I just want to be able to walk across and like tell my family that I made it without you guys and I had other people to support me. So that's a major thing. I want to be able to succeed in life and become what I want to become. Then the second thing is to have family.
2 things I would wish is that I want other kids to see there is people out there that will actually love them and actually will care for them, other than family that been like neglected them, and like see different parts of life as whatever they want to be, and they don't really need people that didn't want to be there for them. And then I just want to be successful.
Kind of figured you wish for more space on the couch, but okay. That's what I'd be wishing for.
So, my first wish is, to succeed and to be able to like walk across the stage and be like, I made it this far. There's no turning back now. Like, I have my whole life ahead of me and I just can't throw it away because some people didn't want to love me, take care of me, and support me like how I should be. And another wish is just to like, hopefully like my whole family succeeds, like my siblings wise. Like, I want my little brother to grow and be good and not do bad things.
I would say that, it wouldn't be the same if everyone was separated. If I wasn't here with them right now today, it wouldn't be the same, because without them, I feel like I'm completely nothing. Like, they're the reason why I'm still here today while I'm still going and I'm still succeeding in school and everything. Like, they're the reason why.
They're really excited.
Yeah, there's a little more joy in the house, I think.
Yeah,
it is, but joy.
Really excited to be all together again. And I think they're just ready to see what things are ahead for them. And so
Have an awesome summer ahead.
But to jump from 2 to 3 wasn't a huge difference.
No.
I mean, when you already have 2 teenagers in the house, and we got the chance to get to know the girls really well, and through the girls we learned a lot about Furman. So we were kind of learning about him all along as we had our girls. And so just adding him was like bringing another family member home, because we already felt like he was supposed to be with us. And so when we brought him in, it was just like completing it.
Just welcome home, that's all.
And so we were really excited to bring all three of them together.